Yo, what is up, guys? What's going on? Welcome to the Suit Up Geek Fix podcast. Lo's freaking me out over there. Today is our episode 10, season 1 finale. Fingers crossed we get a season 2. I don't think it's been officially announced yet, of Monsters at Work. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to share the love, smash that like, hit that subscribe button. We break these shows down on Disney Plus all the freaking time. And today we're talking about the season 1 finale, and it's bittersweet. It's freaking bittersweet. What are we doing today? We are talking about our initial takeaways. We're talking about our favorite moments. We're going to grade. I think we're going to grade the season overall. Does it deserve a second season? Joining me today is my man Loretto. You follow him on Twitter at Marcellus Durden. How you doing, Lo?
Oh man, I'm on my 10th day in a row for work. Looking forward to a day off that is not coming in the next week or so. But you know what? Got bills to pay and I got shows to watch, so everything trucks on. What a wonderful show that we are about to talk about right now. So
lead us off, man. What was your initial takeaways, first impressions of the finale?
Oh man, wow. That's all I have to say. Just wow. And you actually brought this to my attention before we started the show. So apparently this is not a Pixar production. This is fully Disney Studios behind the show, right?
I believe so. Correct.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. I think that's why after the initial show, the title credits, we see based on Pixar characters. But I guess it's not officially done by Pixar. But with that being said, this was the season finale to Monsters at Work, the follow-up to the Monsters, Inc. films. I not only love the films, but I was a little bit skeptical when this was announced. I thought that, it's a cash grab. It's not going to be worth my time. Boy, was I wrong. This finale it got me emotional. It got me attached to this lovable maintenance crew that I never thought in a million years I would give a dang about. From Cutter to Duncan, who's the cynic of the group. For just such a wonderful group. And the way that this finale proceeded to unfold, it just wrapped up everything nicely. And shouts out to you, Dives. You called it, not exactly how it played out, but in the sense that Tyler at some point had to make a choice between his Myth family and ultimately being a jokester, which is what he wanted from day one. And the way that this was written, the whole season has been excellently written, by the way. Just it's such a joy to watch. This finale in particular, though, tied up everything in a bow. And I gotta say, the foreshadowing for Tyler was always there, and I didn't realize it until this episode. So I just want to commend the writers for writing a hell of an ending, for pulling at my heartstrings. I got really emotional. I didn't expect to. But my favorite moment, I will save for later. I'll pass it back over to you, man.
Yeah, man. Just to piggyback off of that, if you've been watching our reviews, we kind of exactly predicted how the show would go. This finale would go. And it was a major step up from last week's episode, which was like filler average at best, if we're being kind. For me, I think I absolutely adored Tyler's arc this season. Like you said, to piggyback off of what you said with the writers, man, this second half of the season, minus last week's episode, has just been a masterclass of whether it's Pixar or Disney or whoever the writers are. They deserve so much credit for giving this arc of Tyler fulfilling his dream while trying to also remain in contact with his Myth family. It was just overall a super heartwarming episode. The last scenes of the finale were terrific. We're going to get into that. Overall, a great show, a very good finale. What is your favorite moment of this episode?
So this is a moment that I did not see coming. It smacked me upside the head, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit emotional. I mean, the whole half of the episode I was choked up, but what really kicked me in my gut. What's up, Film Opinionitis? In the chat. Thank you for joining us, Gabe. Excellent guy. Go subscribe and watch Cinespection, which they stream every Monday live. Great show. What's up, Luke? So my favorite moment of this finale was 100% leading. It was like a Rogue One moment leading up to the ending of Monsters, Inc. perfectly. Like
Yeah.
it was the equivalent of
was awesome.
handing the plans to Leia and giving Leia hope. This show gives me hope. It was so inspiring. Like you said, everybody loves a good underdog tale, and I think the writers of this show crafted it in such a way that it felt fresh and it felt new, and I actually cared about Tyler's journey. So seeing Tyler join the laugh floor, but not only join the laugh floor, he joins the final moments of the original film where Mike and Sully are on the laugh floor. Sully's got his tie, and it's just that moment before Mike shows him the door piece of Boo's door. And it warmed my heart. It brought everything full circle. And I couldn't be more like happy with how this series turned out. A very, very pleasant surprise.
Yeah, my favorite moment is the ending. That the last scenes were absolutely an emotional punch to the stomach. That scene where the Myth kind of accept Tyler as a jokester, and they set up his desk, and there's a picture, a framed picture there of the Myth family. Absolutely waterworks. That was a great, heartwarming moment. And I just gotta keep saying it. The writers deserve a ton of credit because as we have been doing reviews week in, week out, I was a little concerned when the show first started, but man, did they really just give us an arc for Tyler, around like that 5-6 episode range, and they really just crushed it. Him, Duncan, and just everybody else. Tyler's arc, they just wrapped a bow around it and just crushed it there at the end with Tyler. It was a very emotional finale. If you have any love towards these Monsters Inc. characters and you watch this show, I guarantee you, and you're kind of like our age where there's nostalgia, there's cameos, there's amazing world building, and we're going to get into that. But it is earned. It is 100% earned. And that ending, which we'll get into, was by far my favorite moment, arguably of the season, where you see Tyler just fulfill his desire that he finally earned himself as a jokester, yet he also got his family to join with him. It was just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Any other thoughts, Loretto?
Yeah, I actually want to speak to the way this was written because the title of the finale was called "It's Laughter We're After," which is the tagline that Tyler came up with for Monsters Inc. Because originally it was "We Scare Because We Care."
Yeah.
Tyler came up with "It's Laughter We're After." So that was a little bit of foreshadowing, but another part of foreshadowing was how clumsy and goofy he was the entire season. That was very consistent. And I didn't realize that would be the key to him being funny. I mean, it happened with, I forgot her name, the recruiter's daughter. It happened when he fell and made her laugh, but I didn't think that was going to be I honestly thought he was going to stay with Mift.
Me too. I did too.
I thought jokester was out the window. That's what I thought. But it warmed my heart to not only see the footage of him making her smile, but also that moment with Sully, which is not my favorite moment, but it's right under the ending. He tells Sully why can't we just go back to scaring? That's what I'm good at. And Sully, oh man, I got a little bit emotional too because Sully told my Tyler look, I saw myself scare Boo, and I saw something in me that I didn't like.
Amazing.
And I loved that. I love the positivity of it and the fact that scream power versus laugh power. Why not bring more joy in the world instead of scaring these children to death? And I love that. That was just chef's kiss. Wonderful, wonderful episode full of wonderful moments. So I just honestly recommend anybody watching right now, please watch this show if you haven't. Don't mind all the spoilers because if you're watching it, you already got spoiled. But it's a great show.
Yeah. Sometimes the biggest surprises come in the smallest packages. And we talk about our reviews of The Bad Batch, which came, Star Wars, this epic show right after, the amazing finale of the Clone Wars. And I was here with Bad Batch. To start Bad Batch, I was here, and then I ended somewhere around here. To start my little Monsters show, Monsters at Work, I was here, and then I ended up freaking here, man. I really hope to death there is a second season. They deserve it. What are your quick thoughts on the overall season of Monsters at Work, Loretto?
Yeah, minus some like some little detours, like Tyler chasing Duncan's pet. I didn't care for that.
Yeah.
But minus those little filler episodes that every TV show has. I thought it was complete. We came full circle, not only just in this show, but also tying in the original film. I like that Mike and Sully didn't overpower the show, and we really focused on Tyler's journey. And lastly, I'm actually the opposite of you. I think that what they accomplished already with this show is enough.
Yeah.
I would hate to see them drag this out and have it go longer than it needs to. I think this ending is perfect. And if this is the one and done only season, I think they tied it up in a way that's satisfying. And personally, it'd be nice to see them again, but I think that it's kind of, for me, this is Toy Story 3. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I actually enjoy Toy Story 4. But if they stopped at 3, I would have been happy. That's how I feel right now. I feel like the story has hit a point where we came full circle and it's over. And I wouldn't mind if it just ended, in my opinion.
It is perfect. I mean, it is absolutely. We'll get into grades real soon. But, my thoughts on the season, it was just a great story of this like kid trying to fit in. Like, who doesn't relate to that kind of story? The writers really executed as the season progressed. It was one of those shows that nothing about it was like overcomplicated. It was super heartwarming. It's one of those shows where you can just sit back, enjoy, and feel good. I thought in general, they did a great job with the world building. Like we said, they brought back some nostalgia. They brought back Mike and Sully in some episodes, but they did a really good job of weaving Mike and Sully in and out of the main characters of the show, the Mifters. And it never took away from their development. As the show progressed, I found myself falling in love with them more and more and more, which is really impressive. So whether it was laughter, sadness, or nostalgia, just a show that's full of emotions. And like you said, Loretto, has to be watched. 100% has to be watched. If you have any kind of love towards Monsters, Inc., Monsters University, this is a must-watch. Loretto, what is your grade for this finale?
For the finale, I'm not gonna lie, this was a 10. It got me on a emotional high. It was satisfying. It was one of those things where you know how an underdog story is gonna end. When you watch Rudy, somehow Rudy's gonna get in the field and everyone's gonna cheer. When you watch Rocky, Rocky somehow is gonna make his moment. Maybe he doesn't win the fight, but you just you're rooting for Rocky. That something's gonna happen. But when the moments hit and they're done correctly, it's just so heartwarming, like you said. My heart soared when not only Tyler's journey, but seeing Mike save the company because he had one more chance to fill that canister, and they got 1,000,000 gigawatts of laugh or whatever. Those moments were really earned, and I was so happy watching this, seeing the scene connect to the ending, the way it connected to the original film. It just puts such a big smile on my face, and for that alone, this deserves a 10. That's just pure joy coming out of me, and that's thanks to this show. So, yeah,
you look you could rewind this 1 week ago, and we're like, that was the episode before the finale. What are we doing here? We're panicking. There was straight filler. I'm a little worried that they're not gonna wrap this up with the finale. And my God, could not be more happy that I was so dead wrong with this finale. I'll give it a
Take
solid.
Notes, Bad Batch. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Not disappointed at all.
You're not. 9.5 out of 10 for me. It was absolutely terrific. I can't give it a perfect grade yet, but maybe after a second or third watch, I definitely cannot wait to rewatch this series full without any breaks. This show has continuously surprised me in all the right ways, with its heart, with its writing, with its character development, with the side characters, with the world building, just in one package. To be able to wrap it up in a bow like they did in that finale is so impressive. We don't really see that often, and especially in one season, in a 10-episode season. So much credit deserves to whoever was writing the show, which we should probably
Also,
note out.
shout out to Val. I just thought it was fantastic that she also got the promotion to door operator. That dynamic was just so cool, especially when originally he wanted nothing to do with her, and she was like talking his ear off to like, and he was so annoyed to her actually getting her wish of them being buds and him actually wanting to be her friend. That's such an awesome story. Like, God, like everyone has an arc here. It's great.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The way this show has gone, as much as I wanted a second season, I'm kind of leaning towards what you just said. I think this is a just start to finish. Like, there's so much finality with some of these arcs that I agree that it probably would be best to kind of just let it go. Maybe move on to a different, not Monsters Inc., but maybe like Lilo and Stitch, or like something along those lines. But Loretto, final thoughts. Where can we find you, man?
Yeah, so fantastic season. Please watch it if you haven't. The overall season as a whole is totally worth the watch, and it's easy to binge. You can get through in a couple days. You can follow me on Twitter at Marcellus Durden. Always free to shoot the breeze about film, black and white, film noir, superhero cape crap. Doesn't matter. I love to talk about film. I love cinema. Cannot wait for our next draft, which will be in a few weeks. Comic book movies drafts will be on this channel, the Suit Up Geek channel. Please follow us on Twitter at the Suit Up Geeks. Can't wait.
I'm just kind of like sad that like I finally have like this Monsters University shirt, and I'm not going to be able to wear it anymore. I'm going to be wearing it during a lot of our shows, but like it's always bittersweet that like it takes a lot to make these pods. It's not easy. And we've been doing these every single week for the last 10 weeks. Just like, even though the Bad Batch was a disappointment, I love it to death. And we'll see what happens moving forward with Monsters at Work. But you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Crockpot. I am officially probably the last one to see Shang-Chi. That is not that's not a good thing. Everybody I know is going to see it except for me. But it looks awesome. I cannot wait. FOMO. Yeah. But guys, if you're new to the channel, always be sure to smash that subscribe button. We have What If coming, our review coming tomorrow. Lots to talk about with that one. I need to like rewatch that like 2 more times. A lot happened. It was really, really good. Follow my man Loretto on Twitter at Marcellus Durden. I am Dives. And we'll catch you next time. Stay awesome, everybody.